parents are native Southern California.
Sorry about that. I just remembered I didn't record. So, okay, starting again. It's recording because this is going to go on the ER Shred podcast and YouTube channel. So I just realized I'm glad that we didn't get too far into it before I remembered. Okay, keep going.
Oh yeah. Well, do you want me to start from the beginning again?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Allyson. I am 36 years old. And I live in Southern California in the Inland Empire with my husband. I wasn't born here, but I was raised out here in Southern California. I was born in Texas. I am a proud military brat. So my dad, after, I think a few months after I was born, almost maybe even a year, my dad was transferred back here to Southern California. And then shortly thereafter, my dad retired. So then we ended up staying out here. My parents are originally from Southern California. They're both from Long Beach. So Southern California is kind of home roots. I've been married, oh gosh, I have to think. I think 9 years. Ooh,
oh, wow.
Usually the guys usually forget, but no, it's been 9 years. And we just live in a little cute, humble home, and we have no children, but I am a fur mama to 2 wonderful dogs. I'm sure you can hear them going through the doggy door. So I apologize for that, but that's them. Yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Okay, I like it. Well, tell me a little bit about your personality too. Like, how would people describe you?
Oh gosh. I'm definitely outgoing. I love to talk. I swear I could talk to a brick wall if I had to, you know. I love to be around people. I love to interact with all kinds. I'd say I'm pretty easygoing. It takes a lot to kind of, rather my feathers up a little bit. I love to hang out. I love to go to concerts. I love to be outside. I love the sun. I love the sun, but he doesn't always love me back.
Oh yeah.
Hence the fair skin and the freckles and the red hair. So it is difficult sometimes to be here in Southern California, especially out in the Inland Empire. We get to like 118, 119 degrees sometimes out here, and it doesn't always fare well with my my skin.
Oh man.
But I love it. I love outdoor activities. I love to hike. I love to swim. I'm a total water baby. I played water sports in high school. I played water polo and swim team. I'm a people person, really.
Yeah.
I love to joke. I love sarcasm. I love puns. I love it all. I can definitely dish it, and I can most definitely take it.
Yeah.
Also, I am the youngest of 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls. So we're kind of like the Brady Bunch a little bit in that respect.
I love it. What kinds of things are you passionate about? And like, do you have any like specific projects that you're working on?
Yes. Little people do know I am bilingual. I learned a second language in my mid-20s, which was really hard, to be honest with you. I never thought I could learn the second language. But the second language I learned was American Sign Language. And it is a passion of mine. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the language. And I was an ASL interpreter pre-COVID at the community colleges and the surrounding communities. And I love it. It's a passion of mine. And it has been for many, many years now. And I'm also into Pilates now. I have to say that's my new obsession/addiction.
Really? That's awesome.
It's a good one to have, I guess, if you're going to have one.
Yeah. So sign language is you do that for a living? Like you interpret for a living?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's so cool. That's so fun. It sounds like you get to do something that you really enjoy. It's not always common to see people getting to do like professionally what they enjoy doing.
Performing arts interpreting was actually my favorite. I used to interpret concerts and plays, And I have to admit, it is super fun. It's hard. Don't even get me wrong.
Oh, I bet that would be so hard.
Is hard because not everything translates. It's not signed English.
So true.
And a lot of people think so. And so you have to translate. Okay, well, that lyric said that. Now, what does it mean in ASL? Like, how do you get it across?
Yeah. I learned German also when I was in my early 20s. I learned German and could speak it fluently. I went and lived in Germany, and I thought it was like when I was so confident about, I could definitely communicate, and I felt like I knew it really well. But then when it came to translating, because my mom came, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll translate. And I started trying to translate, and it was so hard. It was so hard because, like you said, not everything translates exactly. And then to have to be hearing it in one ear and speaking it out, it's just like, you got to keep up with the conversation. So I was like, whoa, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah. Interpreting musicals.
Oh man, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Cause then they're like, let's hold on to this long note. And you're like, you're holding this sign. All right. And you're like, okay, when is this person going to stop?
Yeah.
So it was a great time, and I love it. And it is definitely a passion of mine. And I've got deaf friends, and I love it. I worked at the deaf school too, CSDR down here in Southern California, and definitely a fun, very interesting time there. I will tell you that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, my next question is all about, it's almost like an exercise I think is fun to get us in this visualization state where we can start thinking ahead a little bit as far as, what do you hope to see in your future within the next 5 to 10 years? And what are you hoping to manifest? And this is like our way of visualizing and like seeing what it's going to be like, just the excitement that it gets us, fills us up with the excitement of the next things that we're hoping to manifest in our lives. So I want to hear you describe that for us.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely believe in manifesting, thinking about it, putting it out there, because I think if you give it a name and you think about it, you're more likely to go out and achieve it.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly believe that. Coming and doing Pilates, I actually want to try to teach it. I want to learn and try to become certified in it. And I know, and it's so funny because I was talking to one of my deaf friends, and she was like, oh, that's so interesting. What is it? And what does it come in? And it got me to thinking that, there's a lot of times that the deaf community gets kind of, not included on things. And my friend was so interested that I told her, I said, you know what, if you come and take an intro class, I'll come and interpret it for you. And it got me to thinking that if I got certified as a Pilates instructor, I could be more open to that demographic and invite more deaf people to, be included and realize how fun and life-changing not only Pilates, but then I started thinking about ER shred and started talking to some of my friends about that, and telling them about the ER shred and isogenics and things like that. So I would like to become certified and maybe interpret and hold and host Pilates classes for the deaf and hard of hearing.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. I never really thought of that. You're right. I never really thought that, like, there aren't interpreters available for every single class that's available for us. But I never really thought like, oh, they have to be more selective with the things that they're going to, pursue, because there always has to be an interpreter, or they have to be able to read lips, or, so it's not as easy. I didn't, that's something that you're just making me aware of. So I love that you see that perspective and see that there is a need, and it's something that you feel excited about filling that need.
Oh, I love it. It fills me with joy. It really does. And even my parents are like, oh, when you talk about it, you light up like a Christmas tree. And I really do. I really do love ASL, and I love the people, and I like people to be included in everything, because everybody's just as capable as anybody else. You just, some just need to take it at a slower pace. But other than that, I love including everybody. I like everybody being around and being supportive and loving to one another. So I like that.
That's so good. Oh, I love that. That's one of my favorite questions to ask, because it gets me so excited to hear all these new creative, expansive ideas that people have and that are hoping to manifest. I just think that's like the best part of, it can actually be, I think that's one thing that people miss, is the fact that the visualization and talking about it and putting the step one of putting it out there can be the most fun part of it all. Sometimes we're like, oh, I just can't wait till I get that. But it's like, what if we just really enjoyed the excitement of describing it? And how you said, how your parents say, you just light up like a Christmas tree, like it can make us feel that fulfilled and happy right now, just describing it and visualizing it.
Oh yeah. When I was going through interpreting school, I just wouldn't shut up about it. I was like, oh, look at this new sign. And, oh, I learned this, to sign this. And, and a lot of it in ASL being nonverbal, you have to visualize. Funny enough, when you're interpreting, okay, so say open heart surgery, you're interpreting what is open heart surgery. Well, you think in your mind's eye, okay, well, this is the heart. This is how, your scalpel, you cut in, and you actually have to visualize it with your hands, so then you can sign it and, interpret it and visualize it to the student who you're interpreting for. And I think that can kind of go into other things in our life too. You have to visualize, okay, this is what I want to do. Well, what do I have to do to get to that? What classes do I need to take? What books do I need to read, or things like that? Like, you have to visualize the whole thing. And I think that's what helps finally manifest it later.
Yeah.
And then you can look back and be like, oh, yeah, I set up everything I needed to get to that. It may have taken me a couple years, may have taken me a couple months, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so gratifying when you finally finish it and you're like, I did it. I said it. I put it to work, and then it happened.
Oh, that's so much fun. I love that. Now I want you to take a minute to just tell us about some more of the things that you've done throughout your life that you feel very proud of, some things that you've overcome or accomplished, because I just think it's so fun to also recognize all the things that we've done, accomplished, and overcome in our past.
Oh, absolutely. Some of your videos their interviews, they're really very, very touching. It's so refreshing to see that some of these instances you're not alone. So I really like what you do, and I like hearing everybody's past. For me, gosh, I'm kind of all over the place. I am kind of a jack of all trades. In high school, I wanted to be a makeup artist, and I wanted to do special effects. I liked the zombies and the aliens and the prosthetics and all that. Well, my mother, working in education, she worked through K through 12. She worked at the high school, and she was kind of fearful that she's like, oh, there's really not a lot of jobs out there in makeup. Like, she wasn't sure. So she pushed me towards cosmetology. And I had no idea what that was. I was like, okay, Mom, whatever, like we mostly do at that age.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I think you'd get a better job if you were a hairdresser and a makeup artist. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I thought about it later, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, you're right. If I work at a studio, I could do makeup and hair. So I went to cosmetology school when I was 15 years old. I actually got accepted into the ROP program, which is like a regional occupational program that the county pays for free education.
Oh, yeah, because you did it before you were 18, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So how did you fit that in with school? Did you graduate early, or how'd that work?
I ended up taking 0 period, which means that I started school at in the morning, and I ended school.
What? It cut out at what time?
I started at 6 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
0 period. Yeah. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But I did it because once I got into cosmetology, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like cutting hair and doing this and blah, blah, chemistry and hair color. Anyway, so I ended up graduating cosmetology school before my senior year in high school. And I got my state license before I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And then, yeah. And so I did that. I did that for, did that for a long time. And then I just ended up getting sick and tired of it. And I was like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to be behind the chair anymore,
Oh,
if that makes
yeah.
sense. And then but I knew the only way for me to get out of that career was to go back to school. And I was like, oh, I've always hated college. Like, you were lucky I graduated high school, yet alone actually go to college. So, but by this time I was in my mid 20s, and I was flipping through the catalog, through the junior college catalog. And I was on the last page because I didn't want to do retail. I didn't want to do construction. I didn't want to do any of that stuff. And on the last page, it said ASL interpreter. And I mean, it blew my mind, Crystal. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, something was like, hey, stupid, you need to come look at this. And so I did, and I enrolled, and it was fabulous. And that's how I learned ASL and became an interpreter. And I loved it. And I still love it to this day.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I interpreted for years, all the way up till COVID. And then the colleges shut down. And then there was no need for interpreters because they had Zoom and closed captioning. So then interpreters were kind of obsolete, at least for that time.
Yeah. Because now is there work for you again? Once again? Oh, good.
There is. I mean, it's not as much because most students are like, yeah, I get to stay home, Zoom. Why go to school?
Yeah.
So the need is not as great as it once was. But I think it'll, as things kind of mellow and people start coming back out, I'm sure the rise will go up again.
Yeah.
And then during that, I was also a caretaker for my sister. She ended up being diagnosed with brain cancer. And it was actually while I was in college learning ASL. And I had gotten hired at CSDR. And I was a residential aide, and I only worked for the school year. So once the school year ended, my job was done and I was let go. Unfortunately, at that time, my sister was coming to the end. And unfortunately, my parents were forced to go back to work. And there was nobody there to take care of my sister. Once my parents left for work, there was a gap between the hospice and my parents. And so it just so happened to be, I was let go just at the right time. And so at that time I became my sister's caretaker. And I took care of my sister. Sorry. Sorry, it's been years, but still.
Yeah.
So I was there for the last couple of months that she was with us, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
I had never done anything like that before. I had to administer her pain medicine and things like that, and physically take care of her. And I think it was good. It was a good experience. And I think that out of all my siblings, I think it was the best for me because I was a little stronger than, say, my other siblings in that respect of just getting it done, having to take care of her and knowing what to do and things like that. So, but I'm thankful for it. I'm glad I was able to spend the time with her. So that was really, I'm very proud to talk about it because I got to do a service for my sister.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I love that.
So, yeah. So so it showed me a lot of compassion and it showed me a lot of things that I thought I couldn't do, but I had the strength to do. It was a lot of self-discovery because life is short. It is way, 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 way too short. And I think it was a great learning lesson, not only for me, but for a lot of friends and family that, we really need to cherish life and our people around us because it can go real quick, real fast. So it drew me closer to my sister because my sister was about 8 years older than me. And so, we never, hung out as teenagers and things like that because she was already in adulthood and things. So those last couple of years and months that I had with her, I really got to draw near to her, and I'm very thankful for it. And then she passed in 2012, this coming June. It'll be 10 years. And I'm just very grateful for that. And I'm very proud of it. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm glad that I had the time, and it was just the right timing,
Yeah.
So
well,
those are things I'm proud of.
Yes, which is like the perfect way to ask the last question, because I think it really ties in to the whole, like the broader perspective of the way we see life, and even life after death, and like the purpose of life. I would love to hear your take on that whole experience, and what gives you comfort as far as knowing, where your sister is and how you can connect with her and all of that.
Oh, absolutely. I think she's doing damn good. She's way better off, Crystal. I have to admit, there was a light that did kind of dim in me a little bit, because Megan, she was full of life, man. She was a spitfire. She's the one that encouraged me to always learn, to always read, to go out, and just love everybody. Megan, my God, I mean, she'd make friends. She'd go to the bathroom at the coffee shop, come back, and she'd have 2 new friends. Like, oh my gosh, and I think that's where I get my outgoing personality, because me and Megan, we were very similar, I think, in that respect. And having her in my life, and then having to lose her, made me appreciate and you know what, let things roll off your back. Life is too short. Don't get hung up on the small stuff and the dumb stuff. But I know there is comfort in knowing that she is gone, because she is not suffering. She suffered. Morphine wouldn't help her anymore. And it just was bad. So, but she never complained. She never whined. She never said, oh, why me, this and that, whatever. And it's really made me appreciate, where I'm at in life, that I'm very thankful for what I have, and what's to come in life. And, and it's funny because she loved Pilates years ago, in her early 20s. And us as a family, we always used to joke. We're like, yeah, Megan, because she she was kind of one of those like fun hippies. Like, we used to call her a deadhead because she loved the Grateful Dead. And, and she just loved all that stuff. And she did Pilates, and all of us as a family, we were like, okay, Megan, like, what's that weird, like, hippie shit you're doing? We're like, okay, yeah, whatever. Because she did yoga and Pilates and stuff. And it wasn't till much, much later, after we lost her, that me and my sister found Pilates, and we were like, oh man, we loved it. And we're like, wait, didn't Megan do Pilates? And we're like, oh yeah. Well, anyways, it's kind of a fun thing now. And now that we do Pilates, I feel like it's a connection back to my sister.
Yeah.
Because she loved it so much, and she did it for years. And now, even though she's gone, I feel like I connect with her every day when I practice. Because I'm like, oh, hey, Megan, look what move I did, or, oh my gosh, look at that, and it's just a nice, loving way to give respect and connect back to my sister. And it's kind of fun for me and my sister Amber to do it.
I love that. And to pass on her legacy.
Absolutely.
In that way. And, like you said, that part of you feels like, there's part of you that died along with her, but at the same time, you can see there's a part of her that lives in you. Yes. And you're carrying out her legacy through you. And I love that. And that probably feels like so uplifting and empowering when you think of, yes, of her purpose, I guess, here while she was here, to leave behind some things that is still, creating that ripple effect. I really love to see that as the way that, the generations, and how our life now is so meaningful even after we die, because of the ripple effect that we are creating, that we can't even comprehend how far that goes.
Absolutely. I agree. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Allie. This has been
thank you.
Really fun to hear more of your story and to get to be like around you. I think that's probably why I really enjoyed your testimonial on the Come Alive call, because I'm like, there's something about you that I'm sure you get this all the time, that it's like people are drawn to you, like something about your personality and the light that comes out of you is something that I think I can tell that people are drawn to.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much for being on. And I really enjoyed getting a little closer look into your life and your thoughts and your personality and the things that you've accomplished and all of that. So thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for asking me. And thank you for everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really do love you guys in the ER Shred. You guys are the best. I love you guys so much. And I'm beyond grateful for you and Sean and Jesse and Heather and Susan and all you guys and just everybody. It's just a wonderful place to be. And I'm so grateful that I found you guys.
Oh, this is so fun. I love our community. Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching. And if you're just catching us now, then go ahead and check out the ER Shred podcast or YouTube channel. And I'll be getting this up there before the end of the night.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye, you guys.